Hi everyone, my name's Josh, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about how to pick your first airless spray unit. A question we get asked all the time is, I'm looking at getting into spraying and I'm not sure which unit I should buy. And if you're just starting out, it can be really confusing as there are loads of different options out there. And if you do a quick Google search, there's loads of helpful information, but there is also a lot of questionable information out there too. So sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. In this video, I'm going to talk you through different types of airless units and different kind of jobs you'd use them for. So this will hopefully help you select the right unit for you. Even if this isn't your first unit, the video may still be helpful if you're looking at getting another unit to add to your fleet for some different kinds of work. Airless is a type of spraying where the paint is drawn into the pump and put under high pressure, then pushed down a hose, through our gun and out through a small hole which is called our spray tip. So this causes the paint to atomise and allows us to spray. So that's machines like the GX21, 390, 495 and so on. To decide on the right machine for us, we need to think about what type of work we do, what type of work we have demand for and what type of work we want to get into. We'd use airless units for larger areas that aren't necessarily super fine finish. The most popular use for them is interior and exterior wall and ceiling painting and interior trim work. Typically, airless units spray to a maximum pressure of around 3000 psi and can really cover large areas quickly, but with the right spray tip you can also be very controlled. As I said, with the right spray tips like the Graco FFLPs, airless units are perfect for spraying your fine finish work like doors, skirting boards, cupboards, stair spindles, stuff like that. But it's not going to be quite as fine finish as you can get with an air-assisted airless unit, but we'll talk about those in more detail in a later video. So if this sounds like the sort of work you're looking at doing, it seems like an airless unit is going to be right for you. So now we need to do is select our power supply. So our options are 240 volt for domestic, 110 volt for site and domestic, petrol for when we haven't got access to a power supply, or air powered, which is mainly for painting huge areas, which is very popular in the marine and steel industry. Most people go for either a 240 or 110 volt unit, and if you're never planning on working on site, 240 volt seems like the obvious choice as you won't need to carry around a transformer with you. But most of the larger airless units are only available in 110 volt in the UK, and if you're looking at anything from the Graco 190 and up, you're going to have to go for 110 volt and use a transformer. So which one should you go for? This is entirely dependent on the type of work you want to be doing. Each pump has a max tip size rating at 2000 psi, so this is the biggest tip you can use with each machine. For example, the GXFF, which is this unit here, can support a tip size of up to 19 thou, so that's the second and third number in a tip. So something like a 519 or a 619. If your material you want to spray needs a bigger tip size than 19 thou, you're going to know that the GXFF isn't the right machine for you. The first step in selecting our new pump is going to be identifying the thickest type of material you're going to want to use, or the most demanding type of work you're going to do. That way we can spec our unit for the worst case scenario. So as an example, let's say the majority of our work is going to be internal trim work using gloss paints. So we've had a look at the data sheet for that, and it's saying we need a tip size of between 10 and 12 thou, so something like a 210 or a 312. But every now and then we get asked, on average once a month, to do a mist coat on 2 new build houses where I'd like to use my wide angle 1221, so that's 120 degrees wide with a 21 thou hole through the centre. In this scenario, the mist coating is our most demanding job, so we need to spec our pump based on this. Because it's site work, we know our power supply's got to be 110 volt, so we know we're looking at the Graco 190 and upwards. Now, the 190 has a max tip size of 19 thou, so that isn't going to be able to supply enough material to keep up with our 1221 when we're mist coating, so we need to look at a bigger unit. The 390 has a max tip size of 21 thou, so that's the smallest unit that can cope with our 1221 thou tip. This is where we need to be careful, because having a max tip size of 21 thou doesn't mean we can spray with a 21 thou tip size all day every day. That's like saying a classic Mini can do 80 mile an hour, but if we sat at 80 mile an hour on the motorway all day every day, it's not going to last very long. But if we got a BMW 3 Series that can do 150 mile an hour, sitting at 80 isn't going to be a problem. It's the same theory with pumps, so you don't want to be maxing it out all the time because it's not going to last that long. In my example, I said once a month on average I'm going to need to spray 2 new build houses. So this isn't what I'm doing all day every day, it's just every now and then, so when we're speccing a pump we don't need to go over the top. So for this example, I'd be going for a pump capable of somewhere between 23 and 25 thou. So that's the Graco 395, Tritec T4 or the Graco 495. So if I was looking at doing mist coats every day, I'd be going for something bigger like a Graco 695, which can spray with a max tip size of up to 31 thou. So using our 1221 isn't going to wear it out too quickly. Most airless pumps can supply around 3000 psi, but there are bigger and smaller pumps. So that means the small pump has to work a lot harder to do the same job as the larger pump. I'll put a table up on the screen here, which will show you the performance of each Graco unit. For example, if we're spraying a wall with emulsion with one of these Graco 390s, we can supply a maximum of 1.8 litres per minute, and our pump needs to go up and down 185 times for every litre of paint used. Whereas with one of these Graco 695s, we can supply 2.8 litres per minute, and because it has a much larger pump, it will only need to go up and down 60 times to do the same volume. That's why we don't just spec a pump on one job, we have to spec it on the frequency we're going to do that job. With some pumps we have a choice between a couple of different setups, like with the GXFF and the GX21. Main difference between the two is you get a hopper on the GXFF and a suction tube on the GX21. Choosing between the two is completely down to personal preference and again the type of work you're going to be doing. The hopper on the GXFF lends itself more to smaller batches and fine finish work, whereas the suction tube on the GXFF is better for blasting out larger areas where you're going to be getting through more paint. Specifying the right pump for you isn't the easiest of jobs and can be confusing, so if you're still unsure, you can always give our customer support team a call on the number shown on the screen here, and they'll gladly talk you through the process. In the next couple of videos, I'll be doing the same kind of explanation for the HVLP systems, so make sure you look out for that. Well, I hope this video has been useful, and I'll put links in the description below to some of the units we spoke about today, so if you wanted to find out a bit more, you can check them out there. If you've liked the video and found it helpful, please hit the thumbs up icon, and if you wanted to find out more and get access to exclusive offers, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get a little notification when we upload a new video. That way you aren't going to miss out on any new offers or content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.